Hello and welcome to your solution design assignment for your entrepreneurial interview. What we're going to do is we're going to have you actually do an interview with an entrepreneur that you identify and find. So let's go ahead and jump into the instructions for this. Now this is going to cover all 4 modules, so you'll have something that will be due in each of the 4 modules. So let's go ahead and jump to the assignment instructions document. You're going to see it's a Word document and it lays out for you all of the components that you're going to be required to do. And it's a 4-page document. It's got a set of instructions for you. It talks about, number 1, identifying a candidate. So the first thing you need to do is you need to find someone that you want to interview. And it can be anyone you want as long as they meet the requirements of having an entrepreneurial background. You need to find someone that's got some entrepreneurial experience. And we're going to break this assignment down into 3 phases. So the first phase, you're going to identify and select the entrepreneur interview candidate. That will be what you'll be responsible for doing in week 1 or module 1. You have to identify who that is, have them provide us their name, and they have to sign off on a sheet, a consent sheet that I'll make available to you. Number 2, you're going to need to select the interview questions. You may want to make these available to the person that's getting interviewed. Once you've done some level of down select, we've got a whole palette of questions that we make available for you. I need you to select a certain number of them. You can always go with more questions if you want. Phase 3 is going to be conduct the interview and publish the results. You will actually conduct that interview, transcribe the responses or the answers into a Word document and make that available for us. And then in Module 4, what you're going to find out is that we'll actually be talking about it. So it'll be part of the discussion activities. So Phase 1, your first phase is to identify and select the interview candidate that you want to use. Once you do that, there's an interview consent form that we have made available for you here. If you click on the interview consent form, you can provide this to that candidate. It gives us the opportunity to share this information within here. We are not planning on putting it, from a filmmaking standpoint or sharing it on any YouTube or, anything else. This is specifically and only for this class. That's the only place that this is going to be shared. Please make that available to them. And then once you've got that consent form done, that is what is due in Module 1. So I need a consent form with a name on it of who the person's going to be that you're going to do the interview of. When we get to Module 2 or Phase 2, there's a series of questions. And we want you to select between 6 and 10 questions. Minimum. You can have as many as you want. I've identified for you 25 different questions that you may want to use. So please look at our template that we've identified these type of questions. You've got standard questions for entrepreneurs. You've got personal questions for entrepreneurs. We've got some tip and advice-based questions, and we've got miscellaneous questions. You can also make up your own questions associated with an understanding of what this person's background might be. So you may have insights that give you the ability to ask other questions that may be very impactful. So we want you to understand these are the questions that we're going to make available for you. You're going to have to select 6 or 10 and you would make that available to me. These are the questions I'm going to be asking my entrepreneur. That's part of what is due for Phase 2. Then when you get to Phase 3, you're going to see that what we're going to be doing is you are going to go ahead and do the interview. You can do the interview over the phone, you can do it in person, you can submit the questions to them via email. There's a variety of ways this can be done. It can be done one-on-one if you want, or it can be done in a virtual environment. So there's a multitude of ways that you have to do that. But what you must do, the one thing that you must do is you must transcribe or publish word for word what their responses were. Do not change their wording around. Do not clean things up. What we need to do is we need to hear word for word what their response was. What did they say? Okay? And then, as I said, additionally in the week 4 forum area, you're going to see that we actually have part of information for us on how we actually do, how we look at these questions. So the discussion forum is actually going to give us an opportunity to kind of explore some of the responses here. So you're going to get a chance during that Zoom live lecture also to then take some of your response questions and make those available for us to kind of talk about. So one of the things you may find out when we get into that Zoom lecture is going to be that I'm going to ask you what key characteristic, what key component, what did you hear, what was insightful that you didn't know before once you got into doing this interview. So you can see that it's going to move itself all the way through all 4 modules. You're going to see that from a grading perspective, each phase is worth 10 points. So Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, the total assignment is worth 30 points. That's 3% of your total grade. It is something that is going to be very important for you, and I want to make sure that you really, really go out of your way to find someone that you want to talk to. Use this as an opportunity to network with someone. Okay? Have a great week. Once again, if you've got any problems, issues, or concerns, feel free to contact me. Have fun with the interviews. Have a great week. Goodbye.